Well, Tesla, it just seems like an unstoppable force right now. The unstoppable company with an unstoppable stock price. Right now, the word Tesla is in everybody's mouth. It's a stock that in a matter of years has gone up 400% and its market cap has grown 6.5 times of what it once was about 2 years ago. We've seen it be such a volatile stock in those 2 years with some massive ups and some massive downs. Like, who remembers when everyone was saying it couldn't go past that $900 that it hit earlier this year? What's happened over the past few days just shows how unstoppable the stock has been. After earnings were reported, we've seen the stock go up massively in aftermarket hours, followed by the next 2 trading days being very weak, getting hit hard. And then when the market opens back up on Monday, of course, we see it soaring higher, a massive like 6% move in one day. The stock price is just unstoppable. But my last video, I did do a video analysing that earnings report for Q2 2020. If you want to have a look at that, click here and it'll take you straight there. But really, in today's video, what I wanted to get across is here's me, a very big Tesla bull, and I'm here today to tell you why I think Tesla is nowhere near done growing, and why my end price target for Tesla is at least $5,000. Yep, that's right, you heard that number correctly. Just before you leave or you do hit that dislike button or whatnot, in today's video I'm going to explain exactly why I think that is the minimum price target for Tesla in a few years. In this video today, I plan to give you guys pretty much my full bullish thesis on Tesla stock here in this video. So just before we do get into anything today, guys, if you could please hit that subscribe button down below, it would be greatly appreciated. Keeps you subbed to watch more videos of mine. If you are interested in stock market investing, highly recommend that you sub. That is what I do videos on. Also, if you could smash the like button down there as well, that would be greatly appreciated. It does help out with the YouTube algorithm, but let's get into it here. Alright, so really I do have 5 bullish points on Tesla that I want to get into here today. It's pretty much the majority or most of my full bullish thesis. Bullish point number 1, and obviously the main one, is I believe Tesla will be the dominant player in the electric vehicle market and obviously the whole automobile market in the future. I think in anywhere between 5 to 10 years time, if someone's going to buy a brand new car, it will be an electric car. It won't be one of your traditional ICE vehicles. It will not have an internal combustion engine. It will be a purely electric vehicle. And I think that obviously Tesla here first to do it, they are going to have the dominant market share just because they're going to be so far ahead of the competition. So yeah, I think they will be the dominant player in the auto manufacturing industry. I'm going to run some calcs here for you now, the ultimate equation. This here will shock you. This picture here, we have the total number of brand new cars that were sold worldwide in 2019. That number being about 75 million, so that is the total addressable market, right? Like I said, in the future I expect all brand new car sales to be electric vehicles, or pretty much all of them. And right now the average selling price for a brand new Tesla is about $55,000. So let's just say over time, as Tesla gets more efficient with making cars and brings out some cheaper models as well, that the average selling price goes down to $40,000. Does that seem reasonable, right? I mean, that's quite conservative. And here we have the leaders in the global automotive market share right now. Toyota being at roughly 10%, Volkswagen being roughly at 7.5%, right? And then we have those few other competitors there. Let's be conservative. Let's say Tesla ends up eventually having total global market share of, let's just say, 5%. Being conservative, right? Because they are more than likely going to have more than that, I imagine. But like I said, we're just being conservative with these numbers. Better to be conservative than over the top. The reason I think that they'll probably have more than 5% is because I'd just like to see how many of these companies that are so far behind last when everyone is fully switched over to electric vehicles. Okay, so like I said, let's say Tesla gets 5% of these total 75 million global brand new car sales. Remember, like we said, total number of brand new cars sold worldwide in 2019 was 75 million. So let's say they get 5% of that. That means eventually they will be selling approximately 3.75 million cars a year. How many cars did they sell last year? Only about 370,000. So that's still a 10x from here in total cars sold. If they sell 3.75 million cars a year at an average price of 40k like we established, that's yearly revenue of $150 billion. Tesla's total revenue for last year was only about $24.6 billion. Again, that means revenue is going to have to grow around about 6 times to get to that $150 billion revenue mark. Again, the numbers that I've calculated was using conservative numbers, so possible that we may even see more than that in just vehicle sales alone. But that does bring me to my next few bullish points, segues nicely, because Tesla aren't only selling automobiles. They aren't only selling vehicles, they do have other aspects and other parts of their business as well that makes them money. My second bullish point is the fully autonomous driving technology and building out the robo-taxi network. Now, Elon Musk's plan, once they have fully autonomous self-driving, once the cars can fully and properly drive themselves, he plans to roll out a robo-taxi network, which essentially would be a service like Uber, but with no driver. Like, imagine pulling up a Tesla app like the Uber app and you order a Tesla to come pick you up and take you to your location, but there's no driver. How sick would that be? Automatically, the expenses on this would be way lower than something like an Uber because you don't have to pay the driver. It would be massively disruptive to the ride-sharing business, and it would be a market where Tesla has the potential to become a huge player in. Now, Elon spoke on this back in April to May and said that full self-driving would be coming this year. You know, I do kind of doubt that because the update that we did get on self-driving in Q2 numbers just before was a bit vague on when full self-driving would be complete. This is what was said in there. Our traffic light and stop sign recognition system is becoming more robust as we continue to collect more data from our customers driving through intersections. As of Q2, our full self-driving equipped cars will either stop at an intersection or drive through it without driver confirmation when it is deemed safe to do so. Ultimately, the necessity for confirmation will be withdrawn completely. So yeah, that last line there, ultimately the necessity for confirmation will be withdrawn completely, is a bit vague, so we don't know exactly when full self-driving would be complete. So there is a bit of a doubt that full self-driving will be complete by the end of this year, let alone rolling out the robo-taxi network before the end of the year. I don't think that's going to happen at all. So full self-driving, possibly by the end of the year. Robo-taxi, I don't think by the end of the year. But the biggest hurdle, in my opinion, with the robo-taxi network that Tesla would have to overcome is government regulation. How long is it going to take for state governments and the federal government and governments in other countries to approve a robo-taxi network? I don't imagine it's going to be exactly an easy process for Elon and Tesla to convince the government to let these robo-taxis go out there and provide a service. And that's the big if. It could be something that takes a year, it could be something that takes 3 years to get into some markets. It's definitely going to take longer to get into some markets than it is others. Imagine some governments are going to be a lot more strict on this than others. To summarise, I think Tesla will get there eventually, and Tesla has a massive opportunity in front of them to take another massive market share from another industry and be a dominant player in that industry also, but I just don't know how long it will take them to get there. With that, like I said, that big hurdle of government regulation is a massive hurdle. But the revenue and the money that they could earn from that, undercutting all the competition, disrupting that market, I would see as a massive opportunity for them. Now, my third and my fourth bullish points do kind of go together, so we'll talk about them together respectively. But I am extremely positive on Tesla's battery and solar power energy business. Because what ultimately is Tesla's mission at the end of the day? Tesla's mission is actually to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. A lot of people think it is just about cars there with Tesla, but they also do have this energy side of the business that they plan to grow out and plan to make a massive part of their business. And Elon says that investors are definitely overlooking this part of the business. He says it would effectively double the value of the company, or be worth as much in itself as the auto and e-mobility division. This is an exact quote from him here on the earnings call for the most recent Q2 earnings. Tesla Energy will be up to roughly the same size as automotive. That's right. So picture those numbers that I ran for you guys earlier with the electric vehicles, and they are looking to do the same kind of numbers with their energy business. And this is something that hardly anyone's talking about right now. Remember again as well, the numbers that I ran earlier were very conservative. So if we have those numbers, or even maybe potentially even more, and then we multiply that by 2, it's just going to be ridiculous. I think the energy side of their business will be a massive growth engine for them in the future. Because right now Tesla are really putting their main focus and all their main efforts into the car side of the business, right? I think once they're done and dusted with the car business, once they've got it up and running and fully established, running at full pace, they will then start to focus more on the energy side of the business. and then they're going to grow that out as well, and it'll just be another massive growth engine and a massive growth opportunity for the company. I think this company is going to grow at double-digit rates for 10 years. It's going to be massive just because Elon knows what he's doing. And finally, my fifth and final bullish point is kind of a smaller area, but it would be the Tesla insurance business. I'm quite bullish on that part of their business as well. Now, for Tesla to provide the service of insurance on their own cars is genius, because you know who has more data on Tesla vehicles and Tesla drivers than anyone else? It would be Tesla themselves, obviously. The amount of data that Tesla collects from its vehicles would be astronomical. It's how they are able to constantly improve and enhance the full self-driving feature. You know, as the AI gets more and more data, it starts to learn things and it's able to improve the full self-driving feature a lot quicker. So what better to tailor user-specific insurance than all the data that Tesla has on its drivers and its vehicles? Being that it's their own product, the premiums that they could charge would be more accurate and more cheaper based on the massive amount of knowledge and data that they'd have on their own vehicles. Now, I don't see this part being as large as the other parts of the business that we talked about, but it's still an opportunity that Tesla could definitely pursue. It's still a potential big money maker. So that is my 5 bullish points for Tesla there. After running through all those points and doing my numbers, you know, after running my future expected total revenues and my price to sales ratios in the future and everything like that, it does lead me to expect at least a stock price of $5,000 per share for Tesla, providing all of these bullish points that I've said go ahead and everything is built out how we expect it to go. And to be honest, like I've said and I'll say again, these numbers that I have ran are pretty conservative given these bullish points that I've given you if they do fully play out. Especially if Tesla continues to grow how they are, if they are always a high growth stock, we will always see the stock price trading far ahead of itself. So like I said, I expect the company's stock price to be at least $5,000 in the next 5 years. Ultimately, I am holding Tesla stock for the long term, and I do have full confidence in Elon Musk and the Tesla team. Ultimately, I do think they will be one of the biggest companies in the world in a few years' time. I've said it in my previous Tesla videos, but I will say it here again. If this full bullish thesis does play out, do you really think the current valuation on Tesla of like 280 billion to 300 billion will stay exactly where it is? When we have companies out there that are valuing close to $1 trillion or way over $1 trillion here today. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think Tesla's end valuation will definitely be up near $1 trillion. So again, I think we will see the share price be at least $5,000 in the future. That's just my opinion, my thesis. What do you guys think about Tesla stock? I would love to know in the comments below, so please comment. I'd be interested in hearing. But that is all I have for today, guys. Like I said, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit this subscribe circle here, hit the like button as well. Check out this video or Tesla playlist. That's all I have for today, guys. You have a good one.